All right, everyone. Welcome to Tables, Ladders, and Bumps, a pro wrestling podcast where we give you a Raw and now SmackDown review. We talk about the 3 count, which are the 3 most pressing things to us in the world of wrestling. Could be in any league, any federation, whatever it is that's pressing us regarding the world of wrestling. And then, are we doing tinfoil Thursdays today?
I got one. I think I
Okay.
got one.
Pierre is going to do tinfoil Thursday, which is wrestling conspiracies. And then we're going to do a don't hate, just debate, or no hate, just debate. We got to get that down. But we will have a debate topic at the end of the episode. Of course, if you guys want more content of what we were talking about, if you like it, then like it on YouTube. If you want to subscribe, then subscribe, and we'll give you all of our plugs here. So I'm joined here today by Mr. Wade and Mr. Pierre from the Super Kick podcast. I'm Marlon. Don't worry about where I'm from. All right, let's get into the Raw review because that is the most pressing. Pierre, I'm going to go with you first because you were coming from SmackDown. You were there live. You were shaking hands with the A-listers, the B-listers, not really the D-listers, but man, tell us about your experience at SmackDown in Chicago.
Man, so as you guys kind of know, man, just from just watching whenever WB comes, so anyone comes to Chicago, Chicago just has a different energy in general. I think the Chicago crowd is probably one of the livest crowds in the country. They're very unpredictable. You can get them chatting for Chelsea Green, popping huge for her,
That was
surprisingly,
awesome.
but I think the Chicago crowd, kind of like some other crowds, definitely notice talent that deserves recognition that probably don't get it on a weekly basis like they should. Um, Being there, and then we open the show with CM Punk, the Second City Saint himself, so the energy's crazy. Then you get Paul Heyman comes out, so reunited and it feels good. They hug in the ring, all this craziness. Um, the show, man, it was just like electrifying, and it just feels like that SmackDown is starting to ramp back up, trying to get on the same level as Raw with the energy and with the storylines. And then you also in the show with the debut of Jacob Fatu. We knew he's been signed already to WWE. It's just we've just been waiting for him to come out. And there used to been talk that he might have going to debut with on Roman's side and not on Solo's side. And now he's on Solo's side, and it's like, yo, like he made a major impact Friday that I think a lot of people didn't even see happening. Friday night, and then, like I said, I'm just feel good to be in Chicago on a Friday night. Wrestling is in town, and I'm glad that SmackDown is picking up. It's been long overdue, especially since Roman been gone. So, what do you guys think about SmackDown?
I can go. I think it's easy for I will say like generally everyone thinks Chicago has great crowds, but you guys always have like the coolest things happen over there too.
Mhm.
So like you start the show with CM Punk who kills it. CM Punk also gets killed on the show. And then you end with Jacob Fatu. I mean you can't
Killing
that's
Cody.
a yeah, that's like a wild 2 hours. There's like I can't even think. I mean, the Logan Paul bit in the middle, like it was whatever. But I mean, that's the best SmackDown of the year, I think.
Mm.
Since Mania for sure.
Mhm.
Some of those rock ones were pretty awesome, where he's doing songs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, basically, Solo actually like did some good acting where he was pretending like he's scared, and then starts laughing maniacally. So you got to see more range from Solo, but Jacob Fatu, I mean, he just has it. I've watched stuff of him, and then when he showed up, I like popped my tits off at my house. I'm like, I was like to my dog, I'm like Jacob Fatu, like, and she just looking at me. No one else is there for me to talk to, but I was so pumped. Pierre, I was pumped for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was also popping every time I saw you on camera because you were like right there. with your Google goggles on, ready to get all the top secret stuff. So no, it was an awesome show.
Yeah, that was a really good SmackDown. Totally enjoyed the pops. There were a lot of pops for sure. I mean, that Chelsea one was surprisingly loud. Maybe it's her character work, maybe it's the city, whatever it is, man. That was really cool to hear. The Jacob Fatu situation, it was literally like I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't jump up and down, but it was just like, uh, like there he is. Like, there's no way this is freaking happening. It was unbelievable, and just the way he decimated everybody was amazing. Um, yeah, man, Bloodline 2.0. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. So and the whole CM Punk thing, coming out on top and then getting your ass whooped and hospitalized in your own city. I mean, you give the guy his flowers. You give Drew McIntyre his flowers for just being so nefarious and such a nemesis now. So loved it. Great show on SmackDown this week. My question is like, what do you think was the loudest pop, like when you were there? What stood out that was kind of surprising, if anything?
Um, the Chelsea Green was definitely surprising to me. Was that um because on TV, I mean, you don't really hear it. You don't see,
Mhm.
you should really get that loud reaction, pop. But I mean, sure enough, Jacob, man,
Yeah.
Jacob coming out and just the way he came out and surprisingly, like, because during the break, everything went dark or whatever, then you seen like a group of like people coming through,
Hmm.
but you just think they might just be doing like changing the ring apron or whatever, just doing some work before the lights come back on before they come back from commercial break. And sure enough, that was when they was ushering in Jacob Fatu, but you didn't
Hmm.
see him because he was all covered up or whatever. And that's when he got to an in position and stuff. So then to know that that's what they did, and then that's what the end result was. Like, I'm such a fan of watching the production, the way that
Hmm.
everything's set up. Like when you watch from TV, you just get one angle, you get the full scope of everything, but you don't get to see the inner linings and the inner workings. So I get to watch them, the cameraman, tell the guys, the talent, hold for 5 seconds or whatever when they finish the match and they raise their hand or they posing for the camera and stuff like that. So watching that different element, but as far as like the question, like the biggest pop is Jacob Fatu, I think.
Hmm. Nice. Um, would you say that what this event?
No, sorry, no, it's Punk. It's Punk.
Yeah,
Okay,
see, I was
okay,
like, dude, that
okay.
was like deafening. I'm like, there's no way that was the
Yes,
loudest pop. That's not a call
it's the
BS
biggest
on
surprise,
that.
but it's Punk though.
Yeah,
It's hands down Punk.
yeah. What is Cody Rhodes? What, did he have 1,000 aura when like he shook your hand when he was around you? Like, who had aura like walking by? Because you were shaking hands with people coming down the aisle.
I'm gonna say Punk. Who else did I adapt up? I adapted up Angelo Dawkins, but that doesn't compare to Punk. Um, Cody,
What? I'm just kidding. Cody, yeah.
uh, R-Truth. I saw adapted with Miz, but because I last time they was here and Cody was here, it was before Survivor Series, and so they had a
Mm,
dark match. And I think I might have told you guys this before, where I'm first time like ringside or whatever, and I'm like, man, I don't want to miss anything. I'm not gonna get up. I'm not going to go pee. I'm not going to go take a break or get anything to drink. So I watched the whole 2 hour show, and I got thirsty. And then sure enough, I'm thinking like, what? They got two dark matches. I think it was like Raquel Rodriguez versus like I think it might have been Rhea or someone else. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get something to drink in the concession stand. So I go, and then sure enough, everything's closed. I'm like, yo, the match is still going. So I come back, I'm disappointed, I'm thirsty, and then so it's Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes versus Dom, and I think JD. And then afterwards, they Cody and stuff they greet everybody on ringside or whatever, and I stopped Cody and I said, hey Cody, can we get Gatorade? 'Cause I saw they had Gatorades underneath the ring. And he's looking around. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Gatorade." And I point to him, and he, sure enough, grabs the Gatorade and tosses it to me. You know.
nice.
So that day, that when I felt like, man, Cody's Earl was past 9,000 in a
Yeah.
sense, you know.
Yeah.
But being able to meet CM Punk, well, not meet him, but check up with him in Chicago is a different level.
That's cool.
That I have been happy for. So yeah,
That's cool. I dig
Cody's
it. I dig
full
it.
Ultra Instinct Vegeta mode. Yeah. So
That's awesome. All right, if you watched SmackDown this last Friday, please share your thoughts with us. What do you think about the CM Punk segment, especially with Drew, the debut of Jacob Fatu, and even Chelsea Green getting the dub to get in the Money in the Bank? So
you
let
gotta
us know
say it
what
right.
y'all think.
You gotta say it the right way. Don't say it at all.
And even
I hope he does it.
Chelsea Green. How's that?
That's good.
How's that?
That was fantastic.
Um, all right. Wait, what do you got for the Raw review?
Man, I mean, I'm gonna seem like I'm obsessed with Liv Morgan since I've
What a
chose
turn.
chose as Liv turns as my topic again, but man, this is like one of the best stories in wrestling to me right now. Just everything with the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan is unreal. We had her um getting Dom some chicken tendies, got a PS5 for the Judgment Day, flat screen TV. I mean, there could not be closer to a girl of my dreams than Liv Morgan at this point. Not even like her looks, but just like, man, I'm gonna get a PS5 from this girl, and she's gonna
And
buy me
food.
food, and she's like a little bit unstable, which is generally like what I end up kind of with most of the time. So yeah, it's just like literally uh what I'm going for. There, I did see that there was some pushback with this because it's alluded to that she sent a nude to Dom and his friends to look at it and stuff because of all the Vince stuff going on and all of that. I guess my uh thing with that is one, this is fictional,
Yeah,
and two, Dom's not the one pressuring Liv into sending
Mhm.
these pictures and then showing
Yep,
it to his friend. Like it's
it's
not.
true.
It's a very different situation where like Liv is really the kind of creeper that's just doing stuff.
if you
We
want.
don't even know if it was a nude. It was alluded to. She could have just sent the video of her doing the Hawk Tui thing to her to her belt, and that I would get that response if a girl sent me that. I would give the Carlito response too. So yeah, I'm all about it. Her actually helping Judgment Day get the belts
Hmm.
uh, by utilizing our truth, being a dum dum, and yeah, just I mean they've been crafting this really well, and Ray going to help Zelina, and then Dom's like, "Well, I hate my dad, so I'll just punk his ass real quick," and then that gives Liv a thing to kind of hold on to and be like, "Oh, he's actually into me," because
Yeah.
he protected me, even though he just saw an opportunity to beat his dad. So yeah, I really like this story. It's silly, but it's done. The silliness is done as good as you could do it. I think.
Mhm.
I have no notes with this. They just keep. I just keep laughing. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Go, Mark.
Well, the Liv's involved with like everybody in the Judgment Days like storyline, which I think is cool. Probably the least amount with Damien, but to the point where like he's getting pissed off about her, but she's getting results for them. So how mad can he be? So I like how she's involved with like Dom. I like how she's involved with JD and Finn, and who knows how deep she's in with Finn, right? So that's like the mystery. And then also like with Damien too, and the LWO. So at the same time, she's kind of building a small little feud with Zelina Vega. But that's my favorite part about it is that there's so many levels, and now she got R Truth involved. The fact
Yeah,
that
that's true.
she's so manipulative and sweet about it at the same time, right? So that's what I love about this whole storyline.
How many times have you been manipulated by a blonde for you to just feel like she's sweet about it?
Hey man, high school. Anyway,
She's sweet about it. I'm like,
she's sweet
it's
about
not
it.
really sweet at all.
On the surface, he could, a dark time in my life. Anyway, little bit of a dry spell, but yes. Pierre, what about you? What do you think about the whole Judgment Day thing?
Um, for the longest, I always felt like the Judgment Day was just complete stooges, and they were just losing, and it just looked weak. And they're still doing stooge activities, but at least they won, and
Yeah.
and they came out like on top, Monday night. And even though they beat up Bronson, yeah, not Bronson, Braun Strowman for a little bit. I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
Braun, man. They beat up Braun Strowman for a little bit, So after like 5 weeks of him chasing them around and knocking them around, still at least they was able to jump him for a little
Yeah.
bit, And then like say, with Liv Morgan doing crazy seductive things and willing her power, like no other right now, is making the Judgment Day look like a dominant faction again.
Hmm.
And it's like I said, it's highly entertaining. It involved R-Truth. R-Truth is always great to be on screen, in any way, in any capacity. And it kind of leads to the possibility that I'm thinking that Truth and Miz are going to feud at some point, you know. So they go back to my tenfold theory from previously. So no,
Mm.
I have no complaints with the storyline. I mean, I would like to see maybe the title means something, but they did acknowledge that they threw some shots at Liv not even defending the title.
Mhm.
So we got a title match Monday. So I feel like they're covering all their bases with this storyline, and so I think we just gotta ride it out, man. It's good. It's not like it's bad. We're not like we're suffering
Hmm.
weekly. Like it's entertaining. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm down with
oh,
it.
I'm not suffering, that's for sure.
Nah, this is really good. This is really good. The part that I love most about the R-Truth thing is that he got Miz involved in a match that Miz, one, didn't want to do, but two, shouldn't have done because he was on commentary,
I
right?
mean, he was. Can they just have him on commentary instead of Pat McAfee?
He was pretty good, right?
Yeah, he actually pushes back on uh, Michael
What Cole said.
Cole,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where like it's just like an echo chamber when it's Cole
Pat.
and Pat. Except for which did anyone watch Pat McAfee's show today to see
With
if he was
Triple
on
H?
TV? Was he on
I
today?
saw. Yeah, he was on today. So he mentioned why he wasn't there yesterday. So it didn't have anything to do with Uncle Hadi, but his father-in-law had passed away.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, that's
that's
sad.
actually he wasn't
Okay.
on there.
All right. I was like, that's so weird because it's in his home city too that he lives in.
Yeah.
Like, if of any time I kept waiting to see a video of him getting like fatality by Uncle Howdy or something. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, they have what basically because you have Priest is kind of involved in a way. So you have
Mhm.
three different belts are involved in this
With Liv.
storyline right
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
which is that's good storytelling in my book that they
Yeah.
got even the tag belts involved,
Hmm.
and she's gonna end up, you mean, being a catalyst to Priest leaving the Judgment Day.
Hmm.
So, um, just like Finn's acting with Priest, I think was really good too. When Priest is kind of calling him out about the live stuff, and he like walks out of there, and he's like, "Oh, like this freaking jabroni," like rolling his
Yeah,
eyes at him when he leaves. So,
that
I
was
I
awesome.
cannot wait for that match. Like
Yeah.
that match is gonna be sick. So, but
Yep.
yes,
All
that's
right.
all I
If
got.
if you're into the Judgment Day storyline with Dom and Liv and the rest of the goons, let us know how you feel about it. Do you agree, disagree with us? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Let us know. All right. So my topic is a little bit more. I'm just confused, so I need your guys' help with this. It's regarding Gable and the Wyatt Six. So 7 days ago or so, like just last week, Wyatt Six debuted. They supposedly end Gable. It looks like he's got a bullet wound right in the temple. And then, and maybe this is a pivot. I don't know. Help me figure this out. But then Adam Pearce comes on just a couple of days or before Raw, and he says, Gable's fine. Like, what are you guys thinking? Are you thinking that he actually died? Yes, we're thinking that he actually died because you have Bronson Reed tweeting stuff like, are both of my opponents dead? Do I just go and qualify? So just stuff like that, right? And then this kind of made me laugh, like Gable posting his memes about like, I'm back from the dead. And then he comes in with high security. And when he comes out to the ring, he goes, do you believe in miracles? Like that had me rolling a bit, but I'm just so confused on what to feel for this guy because when he gets attacked again, he runs to the Alpha Academy, begs for forgiveness. I'm like, wait, we were just booing this guy like last week. Like, how am I supposed to feel? And now he's being haunted somewhat by the Wyatt Six. So I really don't have many thoughts. I'm just confused on the whole Gable Wyatt Six situation. What do you guys think? And Alpha Academy.
You could go first, Pierre.
So if the angle was to push Gable with the Creed brothers and or the Diamond Mine in a sense, I didn't think that Y6 was needed for that. I think it was kind of already established that they already had the working relationship already because it was like the training during WrestleMania. We saw the Creed brothers with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, and then we saw another instance where there was the three of them was backstage anyway. So it's hard for me to even imagine like the Creed brothers and Ivy now having been watching Monday Night Raw the last month and seeing the way Chad Gable has been treating Alpha Academy and just be like to take them in and you need help or we feel so sorry that the Wyatt Six are after you. I can't imagine if there was people of character, they would always be like, well, you deserve this. Look what you've been doing to Maxine, Tozawa, and Otis. So, like I said, I don't think the Wyatt Six was needed for that. I don't think it was meant to make us feel sorry for him. It's just him just being like a coward in a sense. And it's like, well, you get what you deserve. You put that out, you hurt and you embarrass the Alpha Academy and all that stuff. So you kind of get what you deserve in the end by them abandoning you. And now you're trying to run back to them when the Wyatt Six are coming after you or whatever. And I think they did pivot from the whole like murder thing because you can't be murdering people on TV because it's TV and it's wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So because they got to come back, so you can't murder them. So I think when the fans and everybody started running with the whole murder like aspect of it, WWE had to turn around and switch that because I guess it isn't good business anyway if if you put out there with murdering people now on TV now. So I think this isn't good. So I think it's just a pivot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's necessarily a pivot, in my opinion. I feel like I think it's with the Alpha. So with the Diamond Mine stuff, I've seen a lot of people are kind of complaining. Your guys' opinion on this is like pretty normal. I think because it is a bit of a stretch. If you're Gable, in my opinion, and you're trying to I feel like he's trying to almost lie to himself about not being scared about this stuff. Like it's someone who's like a little kid who's just like they're scared of something. Like no, actually that thing's awesome. Like I love. When people jump out and try to scare me, like it's super fun. Because it was just like a pretty immature response and just silly. But I mean, you saw how he actually felt soon as Nikki Cross went in the ring. Like, homie was scared as hell and then was trying to find his old friends. So I think it was just like I thought Gable played all of it pretty well yesterday. It is a weird decision, but I think they're doing everything so well with the Wyatts that I think there's a reason for them doing this. Because now now that they see Chad Gable isn't dead, people aren't going to be as scared of them, and it can kind of lull them into a false sense of like security a little bit. Like, okay, well, like Chad Gable looked like he died, but which I never thought he was shot. There's a bludgeon you could hit someone with like I mean, this would hurt him, but like a
Hammer.
nightstick, a
Yeah.
hammer, or something like that, and it would be the
Mhm.
exact same wound, and you would have probably a blood splatter thing too. So that's how I looked at it. I didn't think they were out there with choppers
Guns.
shooting people and stuff.
Exit
So
wounds
yeah, I
on the
like every
wall.
well, yeah, the exit wound would be on the other side, so that
Yeah.
when a lot of people were saying I did obviously he wasn't gonna die. It was weird that he won the match, but it's not like he was dominating in the match. He just
Yeah.
kind of had to like eat the scraps,
Mhm.
which is a typical heel move. So I think, the way I look at the Diamond Mine, all those people are badasses, and if I'm like a serious person like the Creeds and Ivy Nile, even though they were friends with Alpha Academy, they're goobers. Like you could like them but not respect them, which is how I
Mhm.
feel they looked at the people in Alpha Academy other than Chad Gable. Like they're
Mhm.
the most unserious people ever. All Tozawa does is that stupid dance and then gets fatality in every match. And it's like and Chad Gable almost dying, and I feel like it humanizes him enough that it makes it obvious for the Creeds, like, yo, dude, that's you were a dick to those people on your team that we thought were kind of goobers, but you don't deserve to have this response back. Like, you don't deserve to almost
Just to die.
die because you slapped Otis for being a dummy. So, and not listening. Like, if they just listened and were a normal heel group, he would have won the championship like 3 times. But they just don't listen, in my opinion. So yeah, like he's asking for the most basic things. Hit the person in the head with a belt. Come on, like just do it. Or like clothesline this person. He's not asking him to like do a Wyatt Six thing where you're shooting him in the back of the in the locker room. Just hit him in the head with a belt. Come on. So I think it is weird that there is some sympathy for him, but I think we're going to see another turn again with him where he kind of reverts back.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, do you think Chad Gable stays heel after that whole White Six scare, or do you
Oh
think
yeah.
he goes back to babyface?
He'll be babyface till he wins Money in the Bank
Hmm.
to kind of ward off the
Hmm.
Wyatt Six, and then that's going to be the thing stopping him from cashing in Money in the Bank for a bit. I
Ah,
think.
it's a good one. It's a good one. All right, let us know what you think about the battle within Chad Gable. Is he going to stay heel? Is he going to turn face? Is he going to link up with the Creeds or Diamond Mine, I should say? Let us know in the comments. All right, that is the end of our Raw/SmackDown review. Let's move on. Let's move on to the 3 count. These are the 3 most pressing topics of wrestling to us, and we just have a quick little discussion about it. Let's go, Thomas. Let's go with your 3 count for this week.
Mine as the resident AEW person here. I the viewership has been very bad for Dynamite recently, particularly last week, which was actually an awesome show. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of a little bit worried about what they should even do because I think they have been telling like pretty good stories. The Tony Storm story they've been doing the last like 3 months with her and Mariah May is like easily one of the best stories in wrestling this year. Like top 3 in my opinion. It's been done really well. Uh where Tony Storm's going against Mina Shirakawa from Stardom, who is Mariah May's old tag partner in Stardom, for Forbidden Door. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with that. You got Osprey versus Swerve coming up. That's a top tier match. You have the Owen Hart tournament going. There's a lot of awesome stuff. MJF came back. That was MJF's first match. in like 6 months, and it was a dud episode. So there was no
Wow.
NBA, so I'm like a little bit worried. And things like Jericho, who generally most of the fans hate, but for some reason all of his quarter hours do well for his stupid learning tree thing. And I'm like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna have more Jericho crap? Or like just ignore this last week and kind of like it's a bit alarming. I think some of it is because WWE is so hot right now
Mhm.
that they're kind of hurting. But yeah, it was like less than 600,000, I believe, for the viewership for the episode, which
Wow.
was less than NXT last
Wow.
week,
Yeah, I think NXT had like 700,000, right?
which is
Because
a outlier because of
Hendry.
Hendry, because Cody didn't even get Joe Hendry brought in more than Cody did.
Yeah.
So
Well, my question is, I remember you texting us last week, like, dude, AEW is back. And I've seen the highlights and everything, and the storylines and rivalries look good. So maybe just like you, my question is like, why? Why is viewership down? Is it because WWE is that hot? But you could like both. Like that's, I don't
yeah,
know. This is like this argument in my head. It's like they're on different nights. So like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
yeah. What do you think, Pierre?
Well, because you talking about Dominic since it's Wednesday, right? So Wednesday was Juneteenth. So I mean, I think that's probably one of the big things. And
You think
had
so?
no.
I was like, I'm
I
like
was like,
that
oh
kind of
yeah, that's
sound
a good point.
racist. But I'm like, not
Holiday.
everyone was watching freaking Kendrick Lamar's concert.
That's what it was. It was the
Kendrick
pop
Lamar
out.
ended gang warfare, so that's like why it
I
I
mean,
yeah
real violence versus wrestling. I mean, no, I mean, like you guys say, like it's not like AEW goes up against WWE weekly on like the same
no
days.
Hmm.
So I mean, there is the time and space for people to watch it. Maybe like the past weeks or a month or whatever, I left a bad taste in some people's mouth to the point they're like, you know what, we're kind of done with it. Um, like I say, man, whenever I hop on social media, I always get like a skewed view of what AEW is doing. Like I find these accounts that just hate weekly
yeah
on AEW. I don't necessarily know if it's true or if it's over exaggerated or what. They talk about the numbers and you got like Dave Maxer, saying stuff or whatever. And it's just like, man, it's just too much to even try to like, for me to even want to fish through to see what's real about AEW or not. Like I won't deny that I know they got talent over there. Like when I see
yeah
clips of MJF going off, I know like, oh, this is dope. Like what he's doing is dope. I see Swerve, like nothing beats the dance, but nothing else beats that character is cool too.
Hmm.
I mean, Will Ospreay, like they have talent over there. I'm not so familiar with Tony Storm's like storyline right now, but I dig the whole timeless character. Like she faced that mud to 100%. Like
yeah
so like I love that, and that's gonna be part of my 3 count in a little bit, but um. Dude, I think they need to go back to do whatever they do well, the basis of what they're doing, and just do that. I think a lot of it kind of got caught up into the whole like WWE versus AEW.
hmm
And so a lot of times I hear or I get clips of AEW people or Tony Khan mentioning WWE in a way. And like with flat out directly, saying WWE or stuff like that, where you might get subs from WWE, but WWE doesn't really take the time to publicly directly insult
mm,
AEW. Like straight up, like say
they won't
AEW is this.
they
You,
won't
you get
say
the
the
sub.
name, but like Triple
Be
H will
implying.
do it because Triple H is petty as hell, and
Yeah,
he
but
started a
you
lot
get
of
the
the
subs
this
though.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get the subs though. So well, AEW, I feel like they take the time out of what they're doing to come address WWE,
yeah,
and I think that's what messes you up. Like, just do you? You could 2 years ago you were doing your stuff so well where there was actual talk like, oh man, you guys are better than the WWE, the stuff that you guys are doing, and then you guys got caught up into the whole hype of trying to compete. You were doing well by not thinking you were competing, by actually just doing what you do.
Mhm.
Stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane, and then you'll be cool.
Yep. Well, what do you guys think about the viewership of AEW right now? Why do you think it was low last week? Um, I mean, it's a relative number, but I'm just saying, like, do you watch AEW? Would you ever consider watching AEW if you don't already? So let us know. All right. Pierre, let's get into your 3 count
Okay. So my
because you
three
said it
count
was somewhat
topic.
related. Sorry.
No, it's cool. So like how much I love the way that Tony Storm is in character as much as possible. Even when she goes to a wedding, she's still in the black and white.
That was
Like that's
so
cool to
cool.
me. Um, so with the Wyatt Six debut last week, uh,
Mm.
a picture popped up
Mhm.
online of them with a fan,
Mhm.
afterwards. And to me, like I hated that. Like, not that they took the picture with the fan, is the fact that the picture pretty much went viral in a sense, with wrestling viral. Um, because like I want to get lost into the show, and that's just what I like about it. So like, I don't want to see them without the mask right now, all together hanging out at Whataburger, drinking,
Smiling.
you know, like kicking stuff like that. So it's like, so then I'm thinking to myself, even before I saw the picture, I was like, man, if I saw those guys together, I would want a picture, but would I really ask for a picture? Because would I
Mm.
be so like, yo, would I want to respect the storyline right now to not even go up to him and do that? Like, but with the fan of me want to take the opportunity to take this chance to get a picture with them, because this is what they're doing. It's historic in a way. They carry on a legacy type of thing that we haven't that we all been wanting for a very long time. So like, I guess my question is, what responsibility does the fans, the in that wrestling community, these wrestling news outlets or whatever, have for like protecting kayfabe and the storylines and just characters, wrestler gimmicks and characters right now?
Um, I might be wrong with this, but I think they know that we know already, so they can, like, at least the majority of them can live and post their normal lives, even though they're heel. We had a similar discussion about this a few weeks
Mm.
ago. Like, even though
Mm,
we know that they're heel, like they try to do it in a way where they're heelish but still kind or considerate to fans and stuff. Where back in the golden era, like heels would just bounce and like say, "Screw you, kid! I don't got to do nothing for you."
yeah.
But I think nowadays, because like Triple H and WWE is all about the fandom and like making the fans appreciate the product more, I feel like maybe they felt okay with like, you know what, like people know who we are. It's been called out since before we even debuted. So yeah, we're in Corpus Christi, Whataburger. Why not?
Or also, so I didn't watch the whole thing, but I heard that Mark Henry had a problem with what they
Saw
did
that.
too as
Yeah.
well. So like, when you invest all this money into bringing this back in the storyline back, and I guess he said they kind of like messed it up by
Mhm.
doing that. So it's like, because to me it's like, well, who do you blame? Who's more at fault? Is it the wrestlers, or is it the fan by posting it?
Yeah.
Because you could just took the picture and kept it for yourself. You
Yeah.
know, at least for now, and then post it maybe 6 months or a year from now. You could have posted that, but
Mhm.
you posted it the very same night. So it's like, man, like I don't know. What would you think?
Ye-
Wait.
I have a lot of mixed feelings on this. I would say in general, I don't care. Like,
Mhm.
but for this exact situation where you're basically like a psychological like horror group, I would prefer if you're not doing it in that
Mhm.
situation where you just did your first attack. I think the responsibility is on the fan too. Like,
Mhm.
if that was me, not only because I forget to post things that I take with people in these things, but I would have, especially for someone like that, I would have probably just waited until
Mhm.
it had been 2 years or or however long and kind of like held on it, maybe 6 months. Like at least wait till we've gone through the first attack and been like, okay, like all
Yeah.
right, it's cool now, and you could say like, hey, this was a few months back or whatever, and then people don't know exactly the date, and it kind of takes away from how much it matters. But when it's literally the same day that they just did their debut, it's
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
weird in my opinion. Um,
That kid was so happy looking though.
Yeah.
yeah. No, so I get it. And they're like, from what I've heard of everyone in the Wyatt Six, they all seem like pretty cool people. Like I've met Nikki or all of us have, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, at least she was like right. She was right next
He's
to us,
there.
and she was having the nicest conversations with people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I met
So
her,
long.
yeah, because I met her like the day before, the 2 days before. She's like the sweetest person I've ever met. So, and I appreciate she's always doing stuff with charity. So like I kind of give her like a little bit of a pass, even though she's like
Mhm.
kind of the almost one of the main characters right now. But the whole kayfabe thing, because now it's funny you brought this up, because have you, Pierre? I know you don't really watch NXT, but have you been hearing about any of the Brooks Jensen stuff that's going on?
No.
Okay, so this is a weird kayfabe thing. He's going all in on this, and for months he's been basically posting pictures with him with a drink and stuff, like kind of alluding to being like mentally unwell, contemplating like suicide and stuff like that. And it's just because he's just been left alone. And this is a storyline. He's going all into it. Like,
Mhm.
um, he like fake like tried to attack Vic Joseph the other or try to grab Vic Joseph. There were people doing a promo last week, and he's like getting in a fight with security guards in the background, and people are just trying to ignore it. But yeah, he's just like all into it, and he even had like his girlfriend just post, I think it was this weekend, that he had gone missing. She doesn't know where he is and stuff, and people are saying, "Oh, this is in poor taste," and like you're, and I don't. So he's going all in, like he's
Yeah.
like, uh, who's the one that I heard someone referencing? Not Marty Jannetty, but like so like there's some of the old school people who would just go all in on it. And I don't think people are bothered by it because he's doing stuff with mental health, but he's
Mhm.
playing a character. They'll show this in a movie. I have no issues with it. But it's kind of interesting. You have people upset about both like the Wyatt Six not staying in kayfabe, and you're like, oh, this guy's going too hardcore. Uh And literally at the exact same time, because this is in the same company, you have a guy
Yeah.
in NXT who's going all in this character and trying to make it work. I haven't had a chance to watch NXT yet because we're filming this during it, but I'm sure there's going to be some weird thing with him with that. He's even talked to the people at Fightful saying he's been released because of his like alcoholism and stuff.
Hmm.
So, and saying it's real to them, but they feel like it's not real. But it's a weird kind of conundrum. So, yeah, I'm fine with it either way. I think maybe he went a little bit extreme, and the Wyatts probably should stay a little bit more in character. But
Mhm.
um, I I think it's cool when they go all in. But if you're gonna be a supernatural thing that's attacking people in the middle of the night, maybe don't take pictures with little kids at Whataburger. Like Like, you could probably get that to go and have
Yeah.
someone else get the food for you too is the other issue I
Mhm.
kinda have.
Yeah.
There's not really a reason that you should be in that situation, in my opinion, so
Yeah.
It felt like the post credit scene in Avengers. We just
When they
did
got
work.
shawarma.
Yeah, we just sitting around just eating. And then also I thought about too real quick, like, well, maybe Monday was another switch to the storyline to where like, all right, we saw Taylor and we saw Uncle Hottie having an interview together.
yeah.
So two separate characters, like split personalities. So maybe I don't know, maybe it could have been things to where these were the regular people taking a picture with this kid. And our split personalities are what you seeing on TV and something triggers them to come out, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I like I said, I wish they would have stayed a little bit more in kayfabe, and I kind of wish the fan wouldn't have posted the picture, and then I wish other places wouldn't have been reposting the picture everywhere too.
Mhm.
I think it's I think
Yeah,
everyone should take a little bit of blame
everyone's
for it.
yeah. I have one real quick thing with the because we haven't talked about the Bo Dallas interview of himself.
Mhm.
This past week there were I've seen probably the two best promos other than like The Rock in the last year, which was the Bo Dallas interview with Uncle Howdy interviewing him, which is himself. I thought they went in a direction that was like that. I did not expect that. I was watching that. I was driving. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna pull over because like this is. I was blown away. It was so good. I was really impressed by it, and it was a really brave decision to make storyline wise, and
Mhm.
I did not expect them to do that, and
Mhm.
he knocked the hell out of the park. Like that
Mhm.
was a 10 out of 10 promo, in my opinion. Uh, and then Jeff Jarrett had one this weekend, and I know you guys are like, "Oh, Jeff Jarrett," but they have the Owen Hart tournament on AEW, and he was Owen Hart's last tag team partner, and he did this heartfelt like uh promo or vignette, and it was unreal. I'll send it to you guys, but it's like one
Yeah.
of the best
Okay.
vignettes I've seen. And if you guys have not seen it, you guys should definitely catch that. It was really well done, and I mean, even the night Owen died, they had Jeff Jarrett still do a promo that night when Owen died, and they didn't really. I don't think they talked about that in the vignette, but like
Mm.
Owen, Jeff Jarrett and him were really good friends, and yeah, it was really well done. But it's just interesting. Both of them were about people that they cared about a lot that died,
Mhm.
and we do not see those promos super often in wrestling. So, and both of them were perfect in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, they definitely nailed it with the Bo Dallas interview. That was really good. I didn't expect them to go that way either. Um, all right, so let us know what you guys thinking about people staying in kayfabe. Did the Wyatt Six and or this fan kind of step out of line, breaking the fourth wall there in regards to their kayfabe? I know we're pressed for time, so I'll keep mine pretty quick as far as the 3 count goes. So it was announced that they are on the latter part of finishing the deal, the WWE finishing the deal with Indianapolis,
Oh,
securing 3 main events or 3 PLEs, the big ones in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. So we got first February 1st of 2025, we got the Royal Rumble. And then they also locked in a WrestleMania and a SummerSlam with those dates unknown. What we also know is that
Not this year, right?
Minnesota. What's up?
mm-mm.
Not in the future, right?
Yes.
Future
Yes.
undisclosed
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we also know that Minnesota was fighting for 2025 WrestleMania, but they were given a 2-night SummerSlam for 2026. I learned that Minnesota, the WWE didn't go through with that deal because of change of management for WWE, and they wanted a more touristy slash prestigious uh, area, which is why they moved it to Las Vegas for 2025 WrestleMania. What do you guys think about these cities getting these long-term deals? And just to put it into context, WWE injects about $200 million for each city that it does a WrestleMania into the city. And that's how much the city benefits and profits from it. Costs them about 20 to 30 million to even bid, and they get huge profits and revenues from the tourism. So with that in mind, what do you guys think about the Indianapolis deal or them going to these cities? Is it a place you would visit and attend an event?
Pierre, you could go first. You're close to Indian. Both of us have been.
Yeah.
All of us have been to Indianapolis a few times. I think. Have you?
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
there.
you haven't. Okay, I've been a million
Yeah.
times. Go ahead, Pierre.
I've been once. But I've been one for like a concert though. I haven't been there for like wrestling. So like I think it's cool, at least for me, because like last year I had SummerSlam in Detroit. So we drove to Detroit. Um had Survivor Series in Chicago, so that wasn't nothing for me to come here. You know, you got SummerSlam in Ohio, so I can go drive to there. You know, and then I have possibly Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. I can go drive to that. So I like the potential of having these big events in cities that are close to me that I can just easily like drive to instead of like fly to. But I'm still even down to go 5 places. You know, long as I wouldn't say Philly was a bad choice. Philly was cool. It was just the weather. You know,
Yeah.
you know, so it's unpredictable. Whatever. They made a better decision with that. But Philly would definitely be a city that I probably would have liked to walk around a little bit more in if it wasn't freezing. You know, um,
You
but
come from Chicago, which is so funny because
I
I
know.
think you'd have the thick blood, and like Thomas and I are like freezing our baguettes off, with like 4 jackets on. Well, I have like 4 jackets on, but anyway, go ahead.
no, but like I I, I like that it has in these different cities and different areas where you can just walk around and only not only do wrestling stuff, but just go enjoy the city as well too. You know, like when they had it in at SoFi, I went to that and I didn't walk around Compton, nothing like that, because I don't have to walk around.
So you going in Inglewood?
Inglewood.
But like I remember this dude from real quick, this dude from England that I had met at WrestleMania, and he had came into the U.S. like a couple days earlier, and he was going to Universal and Disney and stuff like that, and he had a hotel, I think, um, in Inglewood, something like that. And he's like, "Yeah, I had walked around a little bit," and I'm like, "Dude, man, you can't do that." Like he was
Mhm.
like, "Is it really that bad?" Like they said in the songs. I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it's worse. I'm not from here, but I know not to walk around in Compton and Inglewood at nighttime, dude." Uh, but like,
Depends
to
on
do
how
something like that, I
close
would.
you are to the venue. If you're super
That's
close, you're
true.
fine.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
so gentrified now. But yeah, if you're out,
Yeah.
mm,
If you're down Slauson.
yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
No, but I like it. I like that they have it in school cities like that. So
Yeah.
So, you dump here? Sorry, I didn't mean
yeah,
to cut you. So I've been to Indian. No, I haven't been to Indianapolis a million times. I've been 3 or 4 times. Oh shoot, no, maybe 5 times. I've been a few times. Um, and for an event like so, my thoughts on Indianapolis every time I've been there, I'm like, man, this city is really clean. It seems empty. There's like cool buildings, but no one's there. So it's like they built this giant city for like a population that should be like 3 times larger than it is.
Hmm.
So I feel like for when you have like a wrestling event or something, it's a perfect place.
Hmm.
Other than
hmm
that, it'll be cold as hell in February
Yeah.
for Royal Rumble possibly. Sometimes it's not as cold as you would think over there, but it'll
yeah,
probably be pretty cold. So I don't mind it being there at all. I know a lot of people were complaining, but I think getting a hotel will be cheaper. There's like a lot of positives of it being in a city like that. But yeah, that's like as clean of a city as you could have,
Hmm.
in my opinion. Because I'm thinking Philly dirty. Like I liked Philly, but that's a dirty
it
city.
smell like this.
Yeah,
It
like
smell
I
like this.
mean, it smelled like piss everywhere. Like I even go to a nice area, it still smell like piss. Then a SoFi, like you're in Inglewood, you're literally from like NWA, like where NWA did all their songs, like right over there trying to get like shot. So that's not like really the best spot to ever have WrestleMania at. Where was before that? I can't even remember.
Um, Dallas? No.
Oh,
Wasn't it
Oh, it
Dallas?
was a pandemic year. So was it in Florida?
yeah,
Was it in
Maybe.
Tampa? Maybe at the
I think it was to make it.
Bucks thing? It's
Yeah,
somewhere where they had no COVID regulations. So I mean, yeah, Tampa's probably a good pick, actually, to be honest. But yeah, I would say Indy is a great pick. Vegas, disgusting city, but very fun city. So I'm pumped for that, and I could drive to it.
Yes.
Uh, Minneapolis, I don't. Whatever they said the reason was, I guarantee you Vegas just offer more money, and that's why they did it there. I mean, I've heard Minneapolis is nice. I just never been there,
Hmm.
and it's probably incredibly cold
in
in
April.
April,
Yeah.
since Philly was cold as hell. So
Yeah.
I I don't know. I'm cool with these cities. I kind of would prefer cities that are in the Midwest because generally it's going to be cheaper
Hmm.
than if you're on the East Coast where everyone from Europe, it's easier for them to fly to and all of that
Mhm.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with the Midwest if that means I'm spending less money.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah, I agree. I'm okay with the Midwest stuff. I'd probably be traveling by myself because I would have to convince my family why they need to go to Cleveland. So they'd probably just be like, you could go ahead and have fun. Um, Indianapolis, I'm probably gonna look up the tourism, see what's there, see if I
You're
can get my
not
wife to buy in.
Yeah,
So
not
we'll
much.
see. Yeah. So yeah, so let us know what you guys think about the Indianapolis deal with WWE. Would you rather have WWE go to more prominent cities like LA, Chicago, New York, or even somewhere in Florida? Or are you cool with the Midwest cities and states as well? All right, that is the end of our 3 count for this week. We got 7:12 over here on the West Coast. Pierre, how you doing on time? What do you want to do?
We can do the tenfold in debate.
You sure? Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do the tinfoil Thursday with Pierre from the Super Kick podcast. There it
Okay,
is.
get ready, Thomas. It's about to be crazy.
All right.
So I'm going to try to figure out a way to word this without getting us canceled.
Oh
But
no.
I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I think this guy at my job again. We be like talking back and forth, both in our conspiracy bag about it. Um, but with the appearance of the Y6
Mm-hmm.
and how good that it, don't stop laughing at Thomas. With how good that it is, it makes me wonder um where the creative process is coming from. Like where's the origin of it? Like we knew like with the original Fiend and all the Firefly Funhouse, the Wyatt family was all Bray Wyatt. You know, he was the orchestrator of the madness. So now it's like, who is that person now? Who is that conductor of madness right now? And you could say, you know, that Taylor is probably has a large input in it, you know, because I know him and Bray was putting stuff together and planning stuff to come back or whatnot. And I know that originally it was the Y6, and we only see 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that sixth person is supposed to be in tribute to
Mm-hmm.
Bray not being around. But what if he is around in a
You
way?
think Bray Wyatt's still alive and this is a whole hoax? Is that what your theory is?
What? Yep, that's my theory. That's my crazy theory that this is so good that it can only come from one person. And we saw the design of the Fiend costume. I would assume that the Fiend is coming back. You wouldn't unveil that just for the sake of unveiling it, like they did, and for it just to be a statue or just in display for something. Like I would like to hope that they would come back for some reason. And so at one point does that character comes back, and who would be that character? Because I feel like there's only one person that could be that character correctly, and that person might still be around. Um, that is kind of my theory. That the storyline is so good that it makes it hard for me to believe that the dude is gone like that. So maybe it's a kudos to just how well everything has been planned out and worked out, and the way everything is unfolding. But part of it is like, man, this dude was like just crazy with being creative,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe he just felt like the old original Uncle Holly story wasn't working right, like he wanted to do, and maybe he wanted to restart everything from scratch. So that would be a way to restart everything from scratch.
That that certainly would be a way. Yeah. The
So I guess my other question to you guys would be: next say he comes back, How would you feel
This
about that?
is a big if, yes. How would I feel if this whole thing was a hoax?
Yeah.
Ah,
This would be the greatest work in sports and entertainment history.
yeah, I mean, there's been rumors about like almost every like famous person, not actually like Tupac,
Hmm.
um,
Elvis.
Elvis,
Hmm.
um,
John
who's the
Lennon.
other? John. Oh yeah, I don't know about John Lennon as much. I think JFK is like another
JFK.
one. Uh, I mean, I would be very impressed. I wouldn't even be mad if this was a whole hoax. I would just be shocked that they were somehow able to do this that well. Um, yeah, I was gonna ask you if you thought Hugo Chavez was the one who won the election for Joe Biden, even though Hugo Chavez was dead, like the one lady. So it's like, yeah, you remember that story came out. Hugo Chavez changed the votes. He's dead. Um, no, I just don't. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I would just be like incredibly impressed in this day and age because
Yeah.
it would be it would
Social
be
media,
almost
everything.
impossible to do now. Um, I think 40, 50 years ago you could do something like
Hmm.
this. Um, but yeah, I don't think you could pull a Bruce Wayne and just disappear to another country and not be found.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one for
Everyone's
sure.
acting so good too if it was fake.
Everybody. I mean, the Hall of Fame speech from his dad, right?
Yeah.
Um, the funeral, the documentary, just lighting the fireflies up every time. That would be the biggest work in entertainment history. But WWE is known to surprise us. All right, that is the Tinfoil Thursday right there by Pierre. Let us know what you think. As crazy as it may sound.
Hopefully we're
Um,
still up next week.
yeah.
Uh
Yeah. Um,
We're
all
either
right.
up or we have officially monetized the channel.
Right, right,
yeah.
right, 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 right. Let's hope it goes that way. Let's get into the no hate, just debate segment for this week. I'm picking the topic this week, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So my topic of the week is Jacob Fatu will not outshine Solo Sokoa.
Oh my god.
I'll do a standard, pick a number between 1 and 10. I have written it down. Um, Winner gets to choose and loser gets to defer or go first. All right. So 1 and 10.
Go first, Wade.
5. So I'm gonna put this all in Pierre's hands. He's either gonna go higher than me or lower than me.
I can pick 7.
Oh yeah.
All right. Number is 4.
You know what? I want a challenge today. I'm
Okay.
picking that Jacob Fatu will not overshine Solo Sikoa.
Oh, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. Let's
I
go.
wanted to do it too. Go ahead.
Let's go. All right. Let me get my timer up. Yeah, 1 minute. Here we go. 1 minute starts now.
Wait a minute. Who's going first?
Pierre, you go first.
Okay,
Oh,
so I'm
I thought you
arguing that.
said.
So
So
you have
you're
to, yeah, you have to argue that he will be outshined.
Okay, cool.
all right. Ready?
Yep, I
Here
am
we
ready.
go. And go.
So I don't know much about Jacob Fatu's indie work because I haven't had time to really study him like that, but I have seen clips. And I have seen this dude do a springboard moonsault off like the top rope, off the second rope, off the turnbuckle. I've seen this man debut last Friday live, and have aura on 10,000 as opposed to Solo, who can barely speak. Jacob Fatu did more in 30 seconds than I've seen Solo really do in a year. He jumped off the top rope onto the announce table, onto Cody Rhodes, made probably the biggest impact that I've seen a guy make for the bloodline. I've heard rumors that he's better on the microphone than Solo Sikoa, and all I have seen him do was just howl and do that, and that's been better than Solo and been more intimidating than Solo has been in the last 6 months for me. I can't get over Solo now winning shoes.
That's a minute. All right, Wade, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wade is saying that Solo Sikoa will not be outshined by Jacob Fatu. Your minute starts now.
Yeah, so Solo has shown that even everyone in the bloodline has been scared of him, even Roman Reigns, since Solo has been in. If you remember earlier in the bloodline, about 7 chapters ago, that was the one person that Roman was actually scared of when Solo would just, he doesn't even have to say a word. His acting and his facials is so strong. Just, he emits fear in everyone that he's around, including Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu, not known as a street champ. Solo Sikoa is known as a street champ. That spot you were talking about that Jacob Fatu did, off the, you mean ring onto the announce table? I'm just gonna tell you, Braun Breaker did it better, literally 3 days later. So that doesn't mean anything to me at all. And you could talk about Jacob Fatu doing all of these cool things off turnbuckles,
Time.
triple backflips. Okay.
Time. That was good. Okay, I'll give you guys 45 seconds. I am going to give you a 10-second warning. Cool?
Okay.
Cool.
All right. You ready, Pierre?
Yep.
All right. Hold on a second. Sorry, let me get it up to seconds. All right. All right, here we go. 45 seconds on the clock to rebut that Jacob Fatu will definitely outsign Solo Sikoa. Here we go, Pierre.
All right. So you mentioned about Solo being the street champ. I don't think the street champ is more intimidating than a guy named the Samoan Werewolf. There's definitely a more intimidating name than the street champ. I think the Samoan Werewolf would eat the street champ at any given day, any given Sunday, any given Saturday, Monday, or Friday. Solo has a limited amount of range of moves. The Samoan Spike, the spinning solo, and the little clash into the chair like Umaga, into the turnbuckle like Umaga. I've seen Jacob
10
do
seconds.
way more moves.
10 seconds.
I've seen Jacob do way more moves than Solo has in 30 seconds.
That's good.
I'm leaving it at that.
That's good. All right. Wade, you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 45 seconds on the clock. Go ahead.
Yep. Okay. First of all, werewolves are not real, so I do not care about those at all. Obviously, you were Team Jacob, so I'm just gonna dock you points on that. No one was Team
You get
Jacob.
the
That was
abs.
cool. Yeah,
Abs, man.
I'm Team Edward. The Samoan Spike is probably the best move ever in wrestling. It took out John Cena for like 5 months. He couldn't even talk. He couldn't even act because he couldn't speak for so long because of the Samoan Spike. And no one pulls off how strong a single move is better than Solo just by always glancing at his
10
thumb.
seconds.
Whether he has tape on it or a glove on it, you always know the spike is coming.
Dang. Wow. That was really good. I didn't know what to believe with you guys when you guys were saying stuff. Especially you, man. I was like, there's no way he could get behind this. I gotta go with Jacob Fatu with the moveset. So Pierre. But dang, Wade, that was so hard. That was so tough, dude. That was tough. But that moveset thing, it's always bothered me with Solo.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure. I agree. Like,
and the
oh,
majority.
I didn't even bring up Solo's spear. That was sick.
Oh, that
Oh,
might have
man.
brought me over, dude.
Yeah, that
might have
spear was
brought me
sick,
over.
man. That spear
Uh,
was actually pretty sick.
Dang. Congratulations. All right, that was our no hate or don't hate, just debate segment for this week. Do you think that Jacob Fatu will outshine Solo Sikoa being in the bloodline together? Let us know what y'all think. And that is our show for this week. Thanks again for listening to Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. Please find us on YouTube. I mean, you're probably here. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, now TikTok. Pierre, where can they find you?
Super Kid Pod on IG and YouTube. Also TikTok too, but I don't read TikTok as much as I should, but I probably will now.
Sweet. And Mr. Wade, where can they find you?
Yep, Wade Wrestling and Comedy. Very scientific name.
I'm Marlon from Then, Now, Whatever. If you guys like this and want more content like it, like and subscribe. As of now, this is our sign off. Thanks again for listening.
Adios.